Hey gamers, Maniac here with GameAccess.net, helping out you Dungeons & Dragons players just really quick. There are going to be a lot of you out there that are going to be interested in playing games like Dungeons & Dragons, but you're not going to know where to get started. But I'm going to tell you where to get started. Get started, you're going to need dice, and you're going to need a lot of dice. Now most people, if they play Dungeons & Dragons, will simply just go to their local game store and buy like a handful of multicolored dice. Or they'll just buy something like this. This is the Chessex Poundo dice. It comes with assorted dice of different shapes and colors. Some of these are D10s, D20s, D6s, D4s. You know, just a good smattering of a bunch of different types of dice. Now, thankfully Chessex, at least with this new container, has a resealable bag. But that having been said, they didn't always used to have resealable bags. And it's not guaranteed if you go to like the fish tank or something like that over at your local game store, they'll actually have a bag for you. You might just have to, carry it around with you and loose, my assumption is that you're going to need a dice bag. You're just going to. What do you do with your loose dice? Most people, if they drink Crown Royal, will simply just use Crown Royal bags. I don't drink, so obviously I don't have any Crown Royal bags that I can use to keep my dice. But I do have some other things, and you have different options. Okay, so I broke out a couple of different examples of all the different types of dice bags that I found over the years, just so you guys would have a couple of examples of them. Now, if you buy something like this, which typically a pack of dice with all the different dice of one color, you're good. You don't need to worry about anything like that. This one right here, a reusable, resealable bag for a pound of dice. I mean, you can't go wrong with this if this can just simply be zipped back up. You can just use them. But I don't know if I like this personally. It's basically just a Ziploc bag. There's no style to it. I mean, it's basically purely utilitarian. For a first-time player, these would be fine to use for a game, and nobody's going to bat an eye at you for using a resealable bag. But I think we can do better. A bag like this would probably be the most common dice bag that you could probably find online. This thing could hold probably around 7.75 pounds of dice total. It's a fairly big bag. Almost all dice bags that I've seen are about this size. It's soft, it's felt on the inside, it's not going to scratch your dice, and trust me, that's important because your dice can get scratched if you put them up against something abrasive, particularly glass. I've noticed will scratch them. So definitely keep that in mind. Now the reason why I bring this one up is because actually this one is marked Garbanzo Juggling. I actually got this for $10 at a Renaissance fair, which was performed by the artist slash comedian, juggling artist slash comedian, Pablo Garbanzo. And he was really funny, and so I spent a little bit extra and got this dice bag. But he's a total nerd, like a total Dungeons & Dragons nerd, so I got a kick out of that. Now, I wanted to show this one in particular because, the truth be told, this was the very first dice bag that I ever got in my entire life. And it means a lot to me, actually. This dice bag, which is certainly big enough to hold at least 6 dice. I will currently put about 6 dice in here. I could certainly put more. Certainly looks like it can hold at least 6 more. So this feels like it hold about 12 dice. But this bag I received for free, along with my gift bag, goodie bag, whatever you want to call it, that I received from PAX East 2012. I was invited to PAX East 2012, and it was the first and only PAX I ever attended. And I got this nice little goodie bag for going there. And amongst the goodies that was in the bag was this little Dungeons & Dragons Online dice bag holder, which was just so nice. And I've kept this with me more as a collectible and as for any other reason. But this could probably hold, or something like this could certainly hold at least 12 dice. This one right here is a smaller version of that bag. It holds 6 dice. It's the same material. This is felt. And I got this from as a gift, basically. Well, what happened is that a friend for Christmas bought me these metal dice, and as part of the, which I haven't opened because as far as I'm concerned, this is a gift, this is a collectible. I really didn't want to play with these because they mean a lot to me. And it came with this size container. This only holds about 6. And just so you guys know, this is pretty much the same material as this material or as this material. There's really no difference in the the material. This is basically just felt. So keep that in mind. You're not paying for material. You're paying for size. So depending on how much dice you have that you need to have around you, you might need that. It depends on how big a bag you're going to need. So let's move those away. And let's get into the 2 more interesting ones that I have in my collection. Now, I've been showing you this for quite a while. This is actually a chainmail dice holder. This chainmail dice holder was made by a very good friend of mine, Kelly. And as you can see here, it's custom-made aluminum rings. You can simply just put dice in there and seal it up. Most people online, a lot of artists online will actually make these. They're very easy to get. They are not cheap. This one was a gift. My friend Kelly was experimenting with doing different chainmail artwork, and that's basically how they got it. And then we're going to get to the weirdest part of this collection. This thing. I'm afraid that I don't really have that much information about this thing, but I do know where I got it and how. This is leather. This is real tanned leather. A little worse for wear because it's been sitting on a shelf for me for in my room for a while. And somebody had made this. A leather craftsman had made this, and they didn't know what to call it. As you can see, it's a leather pouch. It's got a belt clip. It does work. The belt clip certainly works. And as you can see, it can hold about 6 dice. And the challenge of the day was to basically see if you can name it. The guy wanted to sell it online, and he said whoever can come up with the best name wins. And I said call it the Truss, because it's triangular shaped, and for those of you who are engineers, you would know that the triangle is the strongest geometric shape, and this kind of reminded me of a truss bridge. So I said call it the Truss. And out of all the people that submitted names, they picked mine. Now, I've done searches for the Truss online. I have not found this online. I don't know if the guy is selling it. I couldn't even tell you what his name is. If anybody can find this thing online, I may very well have a one-of-a-kind object here, is what I'm trying to say. So if anybody knows what this is or where to get it, post a comment below. I'm sure there are probably some people out there, particularly people who would be wanting to play Dungeons and Dragons at like the Renaissance Fair or something, that'd be interested in playing. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Until next time, my name is Maniac with GameAccess.net. Take care. Over and out.